Hello everybody, my name is Colson Kaufman, and this is one of the first videos I'm making on the political channel here, which is fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about some recent poll changes. I've been trying to make videos on the polls for a little bit, and I've been a little bit skeptical because I knew that something is going to change here, and it's going to make the rest of this campaign for the primary elections anyways to be very different from the general election coming up less than 11 months from now. And the thing is that it has to do with my home state, Colorado. We're a bunch of idiots. I have to say that Colorado is full of ludicrousy in the amount of idiots that we've elected, and by we I mean not even the people, like just random political officials that Biden has input to do. And if you haven't heard, yes, Colorado voted and successfully got Donald Trump out of the primary ballot, and probably as well as the general ballot if Donald Trump wins the primary election, which he has a big chance of doing so. Now this is huge because just 2 days ago I checked the 272win.com website for polls. That's where I get all my polls from. The reason I don't do other research from other polls is because about 90% of them say the same information. So under that knowledge, I know that they're going to sum up the same. And polls for the national polls, anyways, of what's being posted was at a 4.1% for Donald Trump, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. Now it's at a 0.8. And it's all because of Colorado's reaction, Colorado's objection to say that he cannot be on the ballot. Now, I don't know why that is. If Colorado's 10 electoral points, if he loses Colorado, well, that shucks. We can't win this election now. Because it's just Colorado. It's just Colorado. Now, if Colorado had the same amount of electoral points, say, as Texas did, yeah, that's kind of a problem. Problem with that being is that Colorado is not that populated, thank God. But we still have a lot of idiots that live in this state, unfortunately. And, I kind of knew this was going to happen with one of the states, and I figured it was either going to be my state, or it was going to be California, and I would imagine California is next. And, New York, that's kind of out of the question. New York's going to find anything they can to blow this guy just far off the planet, pretty much. Yeah, that's what we're getting to now. Of course, with the other primary campaigners, that being Chris Christie, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and sorry, just looking at the stats here, and as well as DeSantis. Ron DeSantis. Brain is not braining. And obviously, I would have to say without a doubt, they're not going to win this primary election. I think the only person that does have a chance at winning the primary election, if Donald Trump cannot do so for legal reason or something else happens, it's either Ron DeSantis or Vivek Ramaswamy. No doubt in my mind. Those are definitely the only two people that stand out the most, because Nikki Haley has a lot of being thrown back at, and I'm fine with a woman for president. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that Nikki Haley doesn't fit the standards. She, to me, is a weak candidate. And Chris Christie is just, motherfucker probably goes to Krispy Kreme every day before he gets his fat ass onto a podium to talk a bunch of shit about Trump, but not really on the issues itself. And the only reason I really pick Ramaswamy over any of them is because he gets straight to the point. He asks questions, he gets straight to the point of the questions he's being asked, and that's something that I believe is very good for president. It doesn't matter what party you are. Of course, the Democrats won't answer questions because look who the leader is. It's someone who doesn't know how to say a cohesive sentence. But I'm gonna go over the polls here. and what's most likely going to happen. Automatically, I'm putting Joe Biden for Colorado because Donald Trump cannot physically win that state now. And for Donald Trump, I'm obviously going to put in these states here. It's kind of obvious that Donald Trump has an immediate win for these states, as well as here. And then I'm going to look at some stats. I'm going to go from the bottom up and see where we're at, obviously, here. Indiana, and we'll stop right about here. Oh, and Alaska. Alaska's most likely, and also this little piece of Maine as well. So that already sets him 111 to 10. Great. Here's the thing. But Biden right now is leading in Virginia, but by 3%. Chances are he'll still win Virginia, just not by much. New Mexico is leading by 8%, most likely to win New Mexico. Maryland, he has no doubt, like these states right here, he's almost guaranteed to win those states. He's just guaranteed. He's just guaranteed. Looking here at the stats. Oh, West Virginia, I forgot this. Yeah. He is currently 36% in Virginia, or West Virginia. So that's pretty good. Illinois, Biden is leading 9%. He's most likely to win Illinois. No shocker. Yeah, it says Colorado 4%, but because of the recent things that have been happening just recently with the objection and all the courts, Supreme Court saying that Donald Trump has no possible chance. Now, that's not including the actual election itself. This is just the primary election. But because he's already been kicked off the ballot for the primary election, I almost guarantee he'll be also kicked from the Colorado general election, too. So, for that reason, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. Alaska is up 8%, so I'm going to put it as this. He's more than likely going to win it anyways. Missouri is up 13%, that's pretty good. Ohio is up 12%, most likely to win that state, I'd have to say. Washington, Biden is up 14%. He's almost guaranteed to win that, as well as California. That should kind of go without speaking, that California is probably and most likely going to be Democrat. Minnesota, Biden's only up 3%, so that's a little bit shocking. Donald Trump is up 10% in Florida, most likely to win Florida. Wisconsin, Donald Trump is leaning, but is up 0.5%. So now we're kind of looking at something real close here. Tennessee, Donald Trump is up 19%, most likely to win. North Carolina is up 9%, most likely to win North Carolina. Nevada up 3%, I wouldn't say most likely to win Nevada, but has a good chance. Michigan has switched 5%, most likely, possibly anyways, to win Michigan. And Georgia up 6%, possible to win Georgia. So we're already looking at a 236-178. It's not looking good for Joe, but Joe has so many other states here that could be acquired. I don't think he's got a chance at Texas, but I'll see here. Arizona, Donald Trump is up 6.5%, possibly winning Alaska. And Texas, Trump is up 6%, and which is kind of a shocker. But to be fair, Trump is most likely going to win Texas. That already puts him at the winning mark. He's already won this election based on current stats, and if that wasn't enough, Pennsylvania, he's up 2%. Just a week ago, he was up like 6, which is not really good. So I'm going to put it as a lean state. New Hampshire, Biden is going up 10, has most likely a chance. And DC, I should include that DC will probably always be a Democratic state, because it has been for a long time. And Iowa, Donald Trump is leading 8% most likely to win Iowa, and it should come as no surprise that New York is Democrat. And Hawaii, no surprise. And it says Oregon is up 4%. Oh no, sorry, wrong state. Okay, my bad. 8% most likely. So that's the election right now. Donald Trump will still win if he wins. All he needs, seriously, like, required. If he lost Nevada, no problem. If he lost Arizona, no big deal. He still gotta win. The only thing he has to worry about, and even then, like, Iowa, big whoop. The only thing he does have to worry about, and even Alaska, even, like, in this small little area here, which is actually said to even be, I'd say, around here, so whatever. He's still up. The only thing he has to worry about is Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. If he loses any one of those, saying that he lost all of these other states, he can't win. He will probably, Wisconsin may, if it's Wisconsin, big deal. Right, so big deal. But he can't lose any of these other states. And if he does, he has to flip one of these states he would have to flip New Hampshire, or Virginia, or Illinois, or Minnesota, or New Mexico, or Oregon in order for him to stay victorious. But based on the stats, if I just switch this back around here, he's almost guaranteed to win this election. He just is. There we go. He's just almost guaranteed here, I think, to win this election. And I swear I had another one. Oh, yes, right here. So 312 to 226. It's not looking good for Joe, but because of what happened in Colorado, it's definitely going to change the whole dynamic on who is allowed on the ballot, because that will affect California, and that will affect the big states by a lot. Not saying that Trump was going to win California, Colorado, or like New York or something, because chances are he wasn't. But it will change the game up for sure, because if Colorado can influence Trump not to be on the ballot for the primary election, as well as possibly the general election, then he could be kicked off at any one of these states, all 50. He could be kicked out completely. And if the trial goes through and he's found guilty, then we're looking at a situation where it's not Donald Trump against Joe Biden. It could be Vivek Ramaswamy or Ron DeSantis. And I'm not going to say Nikki Haley or Chris Christie, because they have no chance, no optimal chance. They're not leading, in fact, they're actually losing by like 90%. So there's no chance. I'm not going to say anything about them, because they have zero chance at winning the primary election, nor would they have the general election. And that's what I'm scared about, is because Donald Trump has such a big lead upon all the other candidates, all other four primary candidates, that if he lost because of trial reasons, which are still happening right now as I'm speaking, if he is found guilty under any circumstance, it'll change this election completely. And then we have to look at, who's going to win the primary election, and how is it going to affect that? Based on who wins if Donald Trump can't physically, then we have to think about the independent runner-ups. Robert F. Kennedy, who I believe Robert F. Kennedy is... Okay, shut up. I don't need to hear about Ford, sorry. If Robert F. Kennedy wins, or not, I'm not going to say wins, because we haven't had an independent president since Washington. If Robert F. Kennedy becomes a big deal in this, which I believe he will help the Republican Party 100%, because he doesn't like the Democrats in their current state. None of the Kennedys do, none of the ones that are alive anyways. That would be Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The Kennedys are by far the best Democrats that have ever ran or helped try to run this country. And because they were such a good help, they're all dead now. because it's sad, because I think they were the best Democrats that this country's ever had, and that's it. There's never been any better Democrat than the Kennedys, and because every time a Kennedy tries to do something right, they're killed for it, and that's wrong. It's preposterous, it's ludicrousy. I don't care for it myself. And that's the thing with the 2024 election. I've seen Reddit posts that are very scary to talk about. Like, whoever wins this, there's possible chance that someone's assassinated, and no matter who's assassinated, it's a win or loss. I don't believe it's a win or loss in that case of whoever gets assassinated, because whoever's the vice president takes over afterwards, that's the bigger deal I'm concerned about. Because, say it's Kamala Harris, right? I don't think Kamala Harris has done anything worth me mentioning. The only thing I ever saw her do to help the world was based off of climate change, and I think she signed off on a couple $1 billion bill to establish helping in climate change. You can't stop climate. It's natural. The earth is meant to stay natural. Why would we want to change something that's been on a path for billions of years? Billions, think of that. It's been the natural path of our livelihood, and the way that this planet spins around the sun has been going on for billions of years, and there's obviously going to be catastrophic events that happen through that. So why are we going to worry about something that by the time a catastrophe happens, we're not going to be alive to see it? Even if we are, it'd probably be better off. And sad way to say, but it'd probably be better off. But, that's kind of sidetracking. I'll probably talk on that separately. But this is right now what we're looking at with the primary and general 2024 election here, with Trump in I wouldn't say a landslide win, because the last time there was a landslide win was in probably the 2008 election. So, yeah, it's the thing about Colorado. If they say anything else and it really does help the other Democratic states, it could really change this election. And if the trial comes back, it'll still kind of screw this up. But I don't want to worry any of you. I just want to say this is what our general election looks like if Donald Trump wins the primary election. And yeah, that's really about it, guys. And see y'all in the next video.